Do you want to know how to fix all Updraft plugin echoes within your WordPress? Now I'm going to teach you a series of simple, no-nonsense steps to correct any error that may be appearing on your website. I will show you some steps that will guide you throughout the correction process, without you having to waste your time looking for other solutions. Everything in a more didactic and complete way, without the need for any advanced knowledge. Here's a very important step that you cannot neglect. Use good website hosting. 90% of the problems we encounter on WordPress sites are always related to the hosting company. In some cases, the PHP version is out of date. In other cases, PHP does not have an extension allowed or features are missing. Therefore, we recommend Hostinger servers so that you can use PHP in your hosting company, regardless of which country in the world you are in. They have multi-language support, and they serve the entire world. They have a specific plan for WordPress with management, and it is one of the best plans for WordPress. We tested several sites within these plans. From the initial plan, you can host from 100 websites, and they are compatible with absolutely everyone. All the plugins we have tested to date, we have not found any plugin that does not work within the Hostinger environment. They also have a system within the panel to check viruses within WordPress installations, make updates within the panel, and check plugin compatibility, which will help you resolve most problems. There's a link in the description, and if you're purchasing an annual plan or longer, use our link to support our channel. One very important thing, as Rotchinger has a money-back policy if you don't like the product, you can simply do the following. By hosting from Rotchinger, install a WordPress site. Install all the themes and plugins you have on your current website. Check if it will work. If it works, you know the problem is with your website hosting and it's time for you to migrate. All you have to do is bring your website to Hostinger. Even Hostinger does the migration for you free of charge. All you have to do is join one of their plans. I recommend Cloud Startup for sites that need more performance, and call the support team, and they will help you with the migration process. Before making any changes, you must back up your environment. It is very important to have a backup of your website. Even if it has a problem, make a backup of the website to its current state. You can ask your hosting company's support team, or you can hire Hostinger, link in the description, and you can have their automatic backup. Backing up on the Hostinger panel is very simple to do. I'm going to teach here, and almost every hosting company is the same. Within your hosting company's dashboard, you go to Files, and you will have the Backups option. Coming here to the Backups option, I can click on Create New Backup. I come to Select. It warns me that it will overwrite the previous backup. Continue, and it starts creating my backup. I have to wait until this backup is complete, so I can start making the changes that will fix the problems with the plugins and themes within my website. Okay, backup completed. Now you can go to your website, make the necessary changes. If you have a problem, it's very simple to restore the backup. You can come here to restore the website. Select the date of the backup you made. Click on Restore, and it carries out the entire process. This set hosting. If you are using another hosting company, just contact technical support, and they will help you resolve the issue and perform a restoration if necessary. This is the first step to solving problems. In fact, if you have a problem and don't have any new information on the site, you can try restoring old backups to see if it fixes the problem you're getting. A very simple step that can solve many problems is to disable the CDN network if you use it on your WordPress. Some plugins and themes may have problems with the content that is available via CDN. Networks such as Cloudflare, CDN Max, among others, can be temporarily or permanently disabled to resolve issues with your WordPress site. So in our example, I'm going to go to Cloudflare and disable the CDN network. I'll click Edit on my DNS entry and disable the proxy. By clicking Save, I disable the CDN service, and in about 30 to 40 minutes, I can try again to access my website. In some cases, simply clearing the cache solves problems within WordPress. So what are we going to do? By clicking here next to the Refresh button, we go to Site Settings, go to Delete Data, delete the data, reset the permissions, and reload the page. But instead of clicking the Reload button, I'm going to press it on the keyboard, Control and the F5 key, so that I can do a reload without cache. Once this is done, the page will be reloaded without using the cache, and if I have any problems caused by the cache, it will be resolved. Deactivating WordPress plugins is also a step that usually solves some problems. It may be that what you have within your environment is a compatibility problem and not a specific problem with the plugin. WordPress is a huge ecosystem, and sometimes some developers develop plugins that conflict with other plugins. The best way to find out if the plugin you want to use conflicts with any other plugin by coming to the WordPress dashboard and deactivating the plugins. Clicking on Deactivate the plugin is simply deactivated. However, this has a small problem. In some cases, you will not be able to open the WordPress dashboard. If your case is a case where WordPress doesn't even open the panel, I'll teach you how to deactivate the plugin in another way. Open your hosting company's panel. Go to Files and File Manager or File Manager. Click on your File Manager, and when you open it, you will have access the HTML public folder. Access the HTML public folder. On some servers, this folder may be named www. Go to WP Contents, the Plugins folder, enter it. And inside the Plugins folder, you will see that you will have folders with the names of the plugins you are using. For example, here I have a plugin called Full Wide Page Templates. What I'm going to do is deactivate this plugin, but not here. If my WordPress wasn't opening, I could just rename by clicking with the right button, going to rename, and I change the name of the folder. I will just add an underline at the end and click on rename. Change the name of the folder, and when I come to WordPress and update, I will see that the plugin has been deactivated. So if this plugin was causing a problem in my WordPress installation, I would have deactivated it, and my WordPress would be working again, thus letting me know that this plugin is a problem. If this plugin has been deactivated, as I did now, and even though WordPress didn't work again, I must continue deactivating the other plugins, renaming the folder, or deactivating them through the panel until WordPress works again. The moment WordPress starts working again, I will know which plugin caused the problem. So I'm going to go back to the folder here and return the plugin folder name to the original. Bring the name of the plugin folder back to the original, removing the underline so that the name of the plugin folder remains as it should be. I update my plugins page, and now I can activate the plugin again. All the others, except the plugin that created the error within my site. This way I will know which of the plugins I have within my environment that generated an error in WordPress. Checking the PHP extensions that your plugins and themes require can help you solve many of the problems as well. Here within the hosting panel, we go to PHP configuration. We go to PHP extension, and we check the extensions that are already natively active, and you cannot deactivate them. And below are several other extensions that you can optionally activate. Most hosting companies do not have this type of extension available, which is why we chose Hostinger as a partner. Let's go. I'll give you an example. And this is just an example. You can use this base for any plugin you use. You go to Google and search for the name of the plugin and the PHP extensions it needs, or read the documentation. So, for example here, Elementor. He has the PHP ZLIB extension as a necessity. He needs this extension active. Coincidentally, it is also an extension required by WordPress. So it's obvious that our site has the extension active, but it's important for you to know that all of your plugins have PHP extensions that they need to work. A plugin can depend on an extension. Another plugin may depend on another. So it's important that you have all necessary extensions active. How do you find this out? Talking to the plugin developer or reading the documentation. Generally, most hosting companies come with all the necessary extensions active, but there may be cases where you have to test to see if your plugin depends on any extension. Additional PHP. Another way to fix errors is to deactivate or change the theme that WordPress is currently using. Let's go. If you have access to the panel, you will do it in a very simple way. Appearance. Themes. Select a different theme and click Activate. Thus, the theme will be activated, and this will change the entire interface of the website. By doing this, you can access your website and check if it works again. Okay. If you don't have access to the WordPress panel, you can also do this through the doubles bank. Let's go step by step. The first thing you have to do is open your hosting file manager so we can check what other themes you have installed. Go to publica.html. Go to the WP content folder, go to the themes folder, and inside the folder you will see all the themes. These themes are the default WordPress themes. Okay. Now let's go to your hosting panel and locate your database. Okay. PHPMyAdmin. And let's go into PHPMyAdmin to be able to modify your database. We are going to look for a WordPress table that is responsible for changing the default WordPress theme. Let's go here to our database. We have the options table, and we're going to look here for the themes table. Let's switch here to page 2. No. And here we find the template and style sheets. Here are the two tables you need to change your WordPress theme. So let's go. Let's assume I don't want to use this theme because this theme is causing a problem on my website. I can come here and get the name of another theme, clicking here on Rename. Copy the theme name, cancel it. Come here, double-click, and change the theme name. Down here, again, changing the name of the theme. I click off the screen, and that's it. The two lines were swapped and changed. When I go back to my WordPress, I will notice that the theme that is active now is again this theme here. So, by doing this, I changed the active theme, and if the active theme was generating any type of error within my WordPress, I just correct it. Once this is done, I either change the theme of my website or I update the theme that was causing the problem. A more advanced way to identify errors in WordPress is to use WP Debug. Let's enable this feature within WordPress. In your hosting panel, go to Files, File Manager, and access your hosting's file manager. Access the public HTML folder. Inside the public HTML folder, look for the WP config file. Double-click on it to open the editor, and we'll scroll to the end of the file. Before the last line, we will add 3 lines of code to define the debug. These are 3 lines of code that I just pasted. These lines of code will activate the debug and will save the log file in a folder that I will show you. Let's save the file. To close, now your log will be inside the WP content folder, and a file called debug.log will be created every time WordPress throws an error. I don't have any files in here because my WordPress doesn't have any errors. So that's why I don't have anything in the folder. It's clean. But if my WordPress had any error, The debug.log file would be created here, and I could look inside the log to see what is causing this error. One way to fix problems is also by changing the permissions of the folders where your plugin was installed. In many cases, a person unzips a zip file directly into the WordPress folder where the plugin is located, and this changes the permissions and folder owner, causing critical errors within WordPress. Let's go back to our hosting company's dashboard. I came to Files, File Manager, access our File Manager, our File Manager, go to Public HTML, access WP Content, go to the Plugins folder, and here we find all the plugins installed within WordPress. Note that they have specific folder permissions. This is the folder permission pattern within the web. If your directory is not with these permissions, you can right-click, you can come to Permissions, and change the permissions. Note that the permission is 755. If I check any box, I change the permissions. The default is 755. Check the recursive directories and files option and click Update. Important: if you want to keep the original state of the folder, before making the change, you can right-click, come to Archive, select the file format, and it will create a backup for you with the original state. Here the permission is different, but within this zip file, the permissions remain the same as they are on your screen. Time is money. If you need a team to solve problems with your applications, your infrastructure, and your web application, contact us. The link in the description has our calendar open to the public with hours and days that you can select. Check out and receive our exclusive service from a bunch of technology-mad people for a client who needs it. Your time is worth a lot to us. If you don't want to, that's okay. Just watch the video until the end, and I'm sure you'll be able to solve your problem. If you want to make money solving WordPress problems, there's a link in the description that will take you to the best training there is. I want you to think about the following. What do you think is most likely? That someone pays you $1,000 for a website that they don't even know if they need? Or that someone who already has a website working and has a problem pays you $1,000 to solve it? Solve problems with tools that already exist. It is a huge and little explored market. You have the opportunity to work on the urgency, the need of businesses that are already active. Click on the link in the description, and I'm sure you'll like it. Okay, guys, if none of the previous steps in this video managed to solve your problem, we now move on to the final step. I'm going to leave the link to this page where I'm here in the first pinned comment, and basically, what we're going to do here is contact Updraft support so we can try to find out what problem you're having there. Let's go. Firstly, by accessing the link I left there, you will enter this page and click on the support part. Clicking on the support part, we go to create a topic. Come on, let's create a topic that is nothing more than a support ticket for us to contact the plugin developers. Firstly, let's add the title here, which is nothing more than a very quick summary of what you are going to talk about here. Let's add the link to your website to make life easier for whoever responds to you and can understand who is doing it. This request. Let's go. Now for the body of the message. Here I'm going to leave a golden tip for you. In the first pinned comment too, I'm going to leave the basis that I used to make this message, which is what will make the support respond much faster so that they can better understand what is happening to you and help you resolve this problem as soon as possible. Let's go. I'm going to add here the message that I already left ready, which will be there in the comment pinned for you. The first thing we are going to put here is our hosting company, which in my case will be hosting it. You will also put some versions of your environment. You will put your PHP version, your WordPress version, the plugin version. What are you using in your environment? Okay. Finally, you will now place the plugins installed and active on your website. Put them all in, because even if they have no connection with each other, they could end up causing some type of error. Among them, if you have a cache plugin, separate it from the other plugins and specify whether it is active or not at the time you're receiving this error. Okay. As in the previous steps, we activated WordPress's WP Debug, If any of the information you received there was different for a developer, just set it for a developer. Also remember to add them here in the message you are going to send to support. Okay, Judy? Finally, the last two things that we are going to put inside the message that we are going to send to support is a message explaining more or less what the process you are trying to do is and how it should work. A message about how this process really is working for you and what is the error it is returning. Okay? Finally, to finish, we're going to put some tags on what this topic is about, something just to guide the developers who will respond to you. Here at the end, I recommend that you only mark this last one here. These other two here are specific. It depends a lot on what you wrote in your topic, but I don't think you will need to mark any of these. I recommend that you check the last one so you can be notified by email when your ticket is answered. And an addendum before we send. Whenever you send any type of message to any support within the web, write it in English, as English is the standard language used within the web. And that's it. You can submit. The message will be sent to support, and as soon as they respond to you, you will receive a notification in your email if you have selected this option, which I made clear here, and the video will stay here. Thanks, bye.